Hey friends, Church Talk. Today we are in the book of Ezra. We're in chapter 2. And I feel like it's one of those chapters where you would say God just gave us a long list of things. And that's how it sounds. I mean, some of these verses, the sons of, I can't even pronounce most of these names. Bani, Bebai, Bibi, Asgod. So let's kind of, the high level of the story of Ezra is he is a priest, he's a scribe, and he's a reformer. So what has happened to the people of Israel is they have been exiled. Now Babylon has fallen, and now Persia is ruling. So some of the remnants, God always leaves a remnant so that he can always fulfill his promise. Some of those people are now returning back. And the book of Ezra, the first thing that it talks about in verse 1, now these were the people of the province who came up out of the captivity of those exiles, whom Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, had carried captive to Babylonia. They returned to Jerusalem and Judah, even each to his own town. Sorry about that. So first, God is establishing back the place. Then we'll find in the next chapters that we go through a long list of who's included. Some of those names that I started reading to you earlier. We want to keep in mind that Ezra is not only knowledgeable, but he's also obedient. And that's the kicker, right? I mean, all we have to do is look at the Pharisees to see that having knowledge does not equate being in alignment with God's laws. So in chapter 2, God records who is returning from exile. And the leaders are named first, as in 2:2. They came with Zerubbabel, Jesua, Nehemiah, Sariah, Real, Mordecai, Bislam, Mispar. You get the point. The names keep going on. I don't necessarily have to know those people because God knows them. And I think that's really the point here, is that after God lists the leaders, then he starts listing the families. I mean, you can just, like, all this is just people, priests and sons and men. And it gets to the point where they basically, there's 42,000 people approximately. And what we need to remember here is that God keeps his promises. I think that's the point. It's like, there's many points in chapter 2, but essentially it's like, man, God keeps his promises, right? Because these people, my goodness, they're just as bad as I am, but they keep doing their own thing, going their own way, sinning, not listening to God, keep thinking they can do it on their own. Bad things happen, but God keeps his promise. And the way that, he keeps his promise, he does say that the world is going to be blessed through this group of people, this Jewish people, and the world is blessed through the Jewish people through the birth of Jesus Christ. That's the gift that keeps on giving. So, again, with all the names and all the descriptions, we're reminded that this is not really a brick and mortar project, because God doesn't list out, and the guy that's got to, make the architecture guy, and, we're going to need a burrito taco guy in the corner to make sure everyone gets fed. We're going to need, right? That's not, it's like listing of the temple workers, because it's that important to get the people right. 42,000. So we find that in all of the people that are coming back, of the 42,000, and then we take, the people that are mentioned as temple workers, and that turns out to be 1 in 8. So can you even imagine, like, 1 in 8 people works at the church? That's amazing. Apparently now, today in America, 1 in 800 people work at the church, and that is quite a difference. But those of us who love Jesus and have accepted what he has done and continues to do for us, that makes us priests and priestesses. So if you look at it that way, now we're back to 1 in 4 people. I think we all know that the majority of us could be doing a better job of being a priest and priestess. But the point is, it's in how you look at the numbers. I'm going to read you or end with verse 62. So we listed a bunch of the, the people and the priest, and these people were 62. These sought their registration among those enrolled in the genealogies, but they were not found there, and so they were excluded from the priesthood as unclean. The governor told him that they were not to partake of the most holy food until there should be a priest to consult Urim and Thummim. Anyway, the point of that, I mean, basically it's like their lineage couldn't be proven, and like they go through the process of maybe being able to be proven. And, we talked about the idea of, sometimes you're called to something, or you think that you're called to something, but it's not actually what, that isn't necessarily it. You're right. You might think I want to be a priest, but it's not actually your calling. And, it's a big responsibility to be someone that is kind of in charge of other believers. I mean, there's another verse that talks about how those people are going to be judged more harshly, but also, if you got the goods, you got the good news, you got the good information, and you're not sharing it, you're going to be judged for that too. So, yeah, no days off, but we have Jesus, we have the Holy Spirit in us, we've got God. I mean, God lets us just talk directly to him through Jesus, and we got the Holy Spirit pushing us on. It's good stuff. So that's all for this week. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time.